Say that. There it goes.
We're live. Welcome to our week 4 soul healing journey.
Week
Yeah, week
four?
4.
Wow. Week four?
It's been a month? That's crazy. Anyways, this week we're talking about you are a badass. And why is it important to talk about it? Because I can almost guarantee that 99.99999% of us spend 99.999% of the day judging and punishing yourself and telling yourself, oh, I could have done more. I should have done that. How come I didn't do this? Ah!
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like what they say it's 50, you get 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day. 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day, and 70% of those thoughts are negative, right? 70 to 80%. And if you think about that, that's like a lot. What is that? 70%? That's like 35 to 45,000 thoughts of negative thoughts that are judging yourself. And that in turn also is, if you guys know about the kind of Dr. Imaru, he did the experiment with the water, and he put words on, he'd get a sample of water, put words like love and happiness, and then he'd look under the microscope and they'd be like, oh, like beautiful, and then he'd put like hate and destroy and blah blah blah, death, all those like anger, fear, stuff like that, and then the molecules of the water would look really crazy. So just think about that: 35 to 45,000 negative thoughts, and we are also what I think
We're
70, 80%
80% made
water.
of water.
So that's the energy we're right. Those energy is literally what we are, and that's all in the unconscious. It's all what we've been just conditioned to. And the cool thing is we can shift and change that consciously.
Yeah, because it's just a habit. It's just a habitual way of thinking about yourself, and we have been conditioned to kind of believe to look at our flaws more often than we look at, our wins. Because there's all just bullshit beliefs about, oh, we need to be humble, we shouldn't be too arrogant, we shouldn't celebrate, or don't jinx it. So whenever there's a good thing that's happening, we're like, oh, wait, don't be too happy about it. We're afraid other people will be jealous. We got to think for other people. If we're too happy, what about these people are not happy? So eventually and slowly, we learn to not celebrate what a freaking badass we are. We learn to not look at the amazingness that we are. And so it's time to change that and shift that, because anything, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say, would you be more willing to do a favor for a friend if that friend is very, very appreciative of you? Or whenever you do a favor, like, oh, that's it, you should have done more. Hey, you could have done more. Well, how come you didn't do this one? Oh, you did this, but hey, it's half-ass. It's not even that good enough.
Yeah.
Or do you want to tend to do more for the friend who's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, oh, this is amazing. Who would you want to do more of? Like, who would you want to be connected more? That's what you're doing to yourself. You have done so much for your family, for your friends, for your life, yet you don't go, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for you, thank you for all that you've done. What you have been doing for the majority of your life has been, really, that's it? You could do more. How come you didn't do this? Oh yeah, you done that? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I see that, but look at this, you still have this.
Yeah. So like, perfect example of this is, both Bridget and I, we've been, in this trying to create our business for many, many years. And about 6 years ago, 2016, 15, 6, 7 years ago, we were really hustling hard, like taking action, grinding, right? Putting out posts, talking to people, getting on, these strategy sessions, and investing a bunch of money and traveling and just, doing everything for our business. And we didn't get the results that we wanted, which was, a very thriving, making a lot of money, type of business. And because of that, we didn't get the result or the outcome or the goal that we had set. We never looked back to, at least I didn't really look back and celebrate and appreciate, oh my gosh, like how hard I worked, how much hustle I had. I was, a lot of people don't know that I spoke on a TEDx, right? I was doing a bunch of Toastmaster meetings, learning how to speak, and uh, lived in all sorts of different states with some, different mentors and guides, and just invested probably over, I think between the both of us, over 6 figures, yeah, easily, over 100 grand, easily, in business and marketing and personal development. And I never gave myself credit for that up until very recently. Actually, just a few days ago, I was reflecting. I'm like, oh my God, like, dude, we did a lot, and we never like just took a step back and gave ourselves credit and celebrated and thanked ourselves for that. And I got to do that, and it feels really, really good. So,
And it actually gave him fuel to continue on the next steps that he had been holding himself back from. And so when you give yourself the love and acknowledgement, it's an energetic, spiritual, mental, emotional feel that you have been seeking to have, but you have not. If you do this enough for yourself, you no longer need to have someone else do this for you. You no longer need your business to thrive in order to make you feel like you're good enough, or your parents telling you certain things to make you feel like I'm good enough. You will never get those from things or people outside of you until you give it to yourself. It's only when you give it to yourself will you know how to receive it from the people and the things around you. And this is why this chapter is so freaking important, because I know almost 99.999% of the population can relate to this, because we tend to be really, really, really harsh on ourselves. And we feel depleted, we feel exhausted, we can't help to be influenced by our negative thoughts. But the thing is, you have the power to change it. And it starts from these questions, okay? So these questions will give you the opportunity to reflect and remember and own and embrace what a freaking badass you are. Allow yourself to take the time to indulge in these, because you have no idea how much the little you inside, how much your soul needs this from you, okay? Not from anyone else, okay? From you, not from your success, not from your clients, not from your parents, not from your friends, from you, okay? So now, first journal prompt for the week: remembering your badass moments. Dig into your memory bank and list out some of the moments that you have fully stepped into your power and embody the energy of a badass. Okay, such as, for example, achieving small or big success in your school, career, job, standing up for yourself or someone else, doing something you were scared of doing, overcoming challenges and obstacles, giving birth, speaking, starting a project, failing and getting back up to go for it again, coming out of a relationship that no longer serve you, etc. Okay. When you do this exercise, I want you to focus not just on the big achievement or big success or big badasses. I also invite you to focus on the small ones that you didn't see was a big deal, because those are the ones that go, oh my gosh, I didn't know how much I needed, to acknowledge myself for that. So for instance, maybe I would say having a conversation. To majority of people, like, having a conversation, well, what's so big deal about it? But there was a period of time when I was running away, facing my own fear, and have the conversation that I needed to have. And when the opportunity come, I could tell that there's a part of me that wanted to run away from this confrontation, but I went ahead, processed my fear, and then go and have this hardest conversation that I've ever had in my whole entire life. But after that, I felt such a relief. Okay. That may seem like not a big deal. You're just having conversation, not like you have to go out there and fight a war or like give birth or stand up in front of public and speaking. That to me was a freaking badass.
yeah.
Or there are moments where, like, when I'm just being with Nyla and I see the love that she is, and that she see the purity that she is, or I'm just being there for her, giving her my full present. To me, that's pretty badass, because I also notice majority of time that my mind is somewhere else, even though I'm physically here. So I'm thanking myself for the times that I am fully present here with my daughter and notice the needs that she needs from me. Okay.
Yeah. So I would say, to add on to that, yeah, it's about really, as congratulating and celebrating and acknowledging that you did your best, right? Regardless of the outcome. So just like my story before, like I celebrate a lot, now. And one of the big celebrations I had before was when I was in real estate and I struggled for like months and months and months. And then finally I got my first deal, made, 20 grand or whatever it was. I'm so happy about it. And that's an easy celebration because you got what you wanted. The challenge is, can you celebrate those times you put in all that effort, but you didn't get what you want? Those are like the parts that really need. And then, like Bridget said, the things you might not think are a big deal, the things that you say, oh no, but I should have done that. Like we have a friend in Austin, and they always are so giving and always supportive and we're like, oh my God, you're so giving and you're so and they're just like, oh no, it should be like that. And it's like, don't celebrate, like give yourself credit, like dude, that's not everybody does that,
Yeah.
So really give yourself credit for those things.
I also have a mama friend, and I wrote a post a few weeks ago about celebrating yourself, and she celebrated that she went through home birth, and that's a really badass of her, and that's the main thing that she remembers that she can celebrate. But in my mind, I'm thinking, whoa, like in my eyes, you have so much more that you can celebrate. You're such an amazing mom, as tired, exhausting as you can be to give to your children. You continues giving. Like here's the thing, a lot of time we think we should be doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we do it and we think, oh, that's what we're supposed to do, and we just don't celebrate enough of it. The thing is, you're not supposed to do anything. You're choosing to give love to your families and your friends and your children the way that you give love to them. And that's a lot. That's a lot. And you probably don't recognize that enough. So I invite all of you to really take away the measurement, ruler, and go, oh, this is worth celebrating. That isn't. This is a big deal. That's not a big deal. No, get rid of the ruler. Get rid of the measurement ruler. There's no standard of what is big or small celebration. Go in and really remembering those times, especially the moments when you think it's not a big deal. Those are the ones that you need it, because those moments that's not a big deal, I can almost guarantee you probably do it very often. You probably do it consistently almost every day, and you just don't think too much of it. I've also had a client who was kind of describing or sharing with me that, at her job, she was giving the presents or helping. She was a nurse, but she was helping women or moms who actually lost their newborn baby. And so she created programs, courses, or presents where she was able to physically be there, hold the mom's hands, and let them know it's okay, and walk them through this process. And I was like, hold up a second. Did you know what a freaking badass you are? Did you know that what you do is so important? Did you know that this love is so needed for those moms who's going through grief, and no one was able to hold the hands that you do, like you do? She's like, oh, I don't know. I thought this is a normal thing because that's my job. No, take a look. This is a freaking important what you do here. It's so easy for us to discount all of it. So this chapter is a major, major step for you to give yourself the love that you have not been given to yourself. Okay? Continue on with the second prompt. Now, this is also very important. Write a letter to yourself who did all those badass things to let her or him know what a badass he was, and thank him or her for everything they've done to get you to where you are today. Write a letter to him, to yourself, okay? And really, from your heart, write a letter to yourself to say thank you. Thank you for what? If you didn't do this, I wouldn't have met this person. If you didn't do this, if you weren't there, I probably wouldn't be able to go through the challenges that I did. Oh my gosh, thank you so much that you did. Thank you for choosing not to give up. Thank you for keep going even when it was really, really hard. And thank you for coming out of it. Well, thank you for facing your fear. Wow, thank you for your love for your family and friends. This is so important. So important. Please, please, please do this.
Yeah.
If you don't hear anything from this group that we've shared so far, do this. It will be so healing for you, okay?
I think I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I gotta do it myself.
Okay. Prompt number 3. Make a list of things you can do to celebrate you and make yourself feel appreciated. For instance, look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you, I'm so proud of you, and I so appreciate you. Or it could be getting a massage, hang out with people who support you and would love to celebrate you. Or write these celebrations down in your journal and really acknowledge your wins. Okay. These are just some examples. I would also invite you to write down the things that normally you would the things you want to do for a long time but you have put it off. For instance, like just take a day off completely, no kids, no work, no family, just me being by myself, if that's what you want to do. Or go take an art class, or go gardening, or go surfing, or go traveling, whatever it is. List everything down, because that's what you really want to do inside. And this is also a practice for you to listen to your own needs and wants. When you hear it, you go, oh my gosh, yeah, that's right. I've been wanting to do this. And once you make the list, the next prompt is, I want you to think about this. What is the one thing you can do today and or this week to show yourself how much you love and appreciate you? Do that thing you pick and then write down your experience here. Okay, so that's why you list everything you want to do to celebrate you, or maybe eat that piece of cake that you've been feeling very guilty of. Just freaking eat that freaking cake without feeling guilty and go, I'm giving myself today to do whatever the fuck I want to do. That is your right, because I know for a fact that you have worked your ass off for a long fucking time, but you have not been giving yourself enough time and space to do the things you truly want to do for you, not for anyone else, not for your family, not for your clients, not for your friends, for you. I know majority of you have been putting that off for a long time. Today, pick one thing that you can do today or this week to give yourself the permission to love yourself fully and completely, regardless of the negative judgments that you have in your mind. Just go, you know what, negative judgments, screw you for today. I'm just going to put you on the side, because today is all about loving me. Today, I'm the most important. Give yourself the permission to do that. And once you do that, journal about it. Write down your experience, because the more you do that, the more you're telling your brain, oh, that feels really good. That gives me the fuel. You allow yourself to give yourself more permission each day to love yourself the way you want to be loved. Okay? This is so important. Please take some time to do this for you. Now, last but not least, last question of the week. Imagine you're in an imaginary bragging competition, and the winner gets to go on a fantastic, beyond the wildest dream kind of ride with the universe, where you can win and manifest anything that you truly want for the rest of your life. If you don't like the word brag, interchange it with celebrate, okay? All you have to do to win is to brag and celebrate the shit out of yourself. The only catch is you've got to be creative about it. You have to brag about the things that you wouldn't normally brag about, and be thankful for yourself about it. How would you brag about or celebrate yourself? Write them down below. Be creative about it. For instance, this is not a big deal, but I'm realizing more and more that I'm actually a pretty good cook. I'm gonna brag the shit out of myself. Like, oh my god, I'm so fucking proud of you. You're amazing in cooking, and you just indulge yourself, and you enjoy your cooking, and you just enjoy the way you cook and eat. One example, just things you don't normally brag about, okay? Because I know our brain is gonna automatically search for the big deals, the big success, the big achievements. Now I want you to brag about the things you wouldn't normally brag about.
Yeah, even just like, hey, you made it to the gym today.
Yeah.
You did your workout. Awesome. Like, oh no, I do that every day. Yeah, awesome. That's another celebration. You've been doing it every day for the last 5, 10 years, or last 5, 6 days, or last 2 days,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, celebrate that.
Or
Right?
it could be somebody, a friend or a family who asked you for a favor, but today you're just really like tired and exhausted, and you finally say no for the first time. Like, say no. You set your boundary. Celebrate that. Brag about it. Whoa, you're fucking badass for standing up for yourself, for setting healthy boundaries. And it's not no forever, it's just not right now. And you said no. I'm fucking proud of you. And it wasn't always easy for you to say no, but you did that today. Right?
Yeah, I think if you go back to the first question, right, that Bridget talked about, which is just listing out those celebrations, like that'll get it going. And honestly, this is something like really take the time for, give yourself an hour, like, right, because you can keep doing what you're doing, right, which most of us is just we don't do anything, and in the constant background we're just punishing, we're judging, we're criticizing ourselves for not doing enough, for not making enough money, for not being there enough for family or friends, for not being the best wife or husband or daughter or son or whatever. And we never take the time to look at, wow, how amazing and awesome you truly are. So 1 hour, that's it.
And you can brag about after you're done, you're like, oh shit, I spent 1 hour with myself, loving myself today.
Yeah.
Brag the shit out of yourself.
Yeah. Give it a shot, right?
Yeah.
Like, and if you don't like it, if you do it for an hour and you brag and celebrate yourself and you don't like it afterwards, you don't have to ever do it again.
Yeah, but
That's the invitation.
in my experience, you'll probably want to do it again.
Yeah, well, it's like working out, right? There's never a workout I've done where I'm like, dang, I wish I didn't do that workout.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it can be a little tough and challenging and tired and lazy and whatever, but once you do it, it's like, oh, I know that's good for me. So
yeah, so that's
give it a
it
shot.
for this week, and I will post a link in the comment to get your own copy if you like to get your own copy to follow along
Of the journal.
of the journal. Anything else?
Nope, I think we're good.
Okay, cool. And if you guys somehow need support or anything, reach out. Let us know if you have any questions. And we're just sending you so much love. Today's video is short and sweet. Yay!
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Bye.